Taz didn't have as good of a time as Super Ken did. Because we saw in a lot of moments when in game number 1, Taz goes in for a neutral objective contest, he always gets suppressed by Vin on Franco.
There's also a lot more tanky heroes, a lot more mobility and escape in the heroes that Big John had in the first game. There was a Valentina, there was the Claude as well that can really gain distance against the Joy. And honestly, the BJ just can't do the same thing. Early on, I thought that this is going to be the pattern, right? They get more burst damage, they get more pickoffs. But every time they were trying to make something happen, right? They trade maybe the turtle. You can see here, Bigatron, they can get the turtle and still get a pickoff at the top side. And even when they lose a member, it's always only one guy and it gets immediately traded back, punished by the rest of the team. So EVO's Legends, essentially, they just get mechanically outmaneuvered here.
So much value for every rotation they make. So different to EVO's.
Very different indeed. And you can see here at this, I think this is where the point was where Bigatron really solidifies their lead. Even though they made a mistake here, but still the lead that Bigatron built was untouchable. EVO's Legends couldn't really do much as Vanstrong was just a target, was a punching bag for Super Ken.
Also, can we talk about Super Moreno?
The snipes, man.
Holy moly! The amount of times he was able to land that snipe, get a good pick for Bigatron Alpha onto EVO's Legends, man.
Boom.
Super Ken is insane.
Well, Super Marino also had nobody diving towards him, so he had a free time in the back line, just sniping down members of EVO's Legends, which is why, again, the fact that Bigatron hit that pick till the last moment was so smart from Coach Aldo. There was really no solution from EVO's at all. Unlike game number 1, even if they want to try and counter by engaging on a full-on team fight, how are they supposed to do so? Maybe the Kadira, but even then, there's just so many cleanses, purifies coming in from Bigatron Alpha. If you look at the items, even Martis, like the Taz on the Martis, he has the Hunter Strike because he was snowballing quite a bit. But even then, he's forced to itemize 4 defensive items. And he went for the Athena Shield, which is great against the Novaria, against the Joy. But it's just not enough when your team gets blown up instead.
So tough. Because initially I was like, Kadira without items already hurts. But look at the amount of anti-magic that Bigatron Alpha has. Magic resist items, right?
2 Athenas, even 1 on Super Saiyan.
Exactly.
That's just for good measure to ensure that Vanstrong can't burst him down and Krite can't zone him with the Feathered Airstrike. So that 1 item alone is so sufficient for him. Usually you would see a win of nature right here, but it wasn't necessary. Grant wasn't doing so good. Martis can get kited, which is why the Martis pick into the 1-1 also was quite iffy. For EVOs, this is definitely not the best draft we've seen from them, so we'll see if some changes are made, for sure.
I always notice something about Krite though. He always opts for these emblems. It's a very interesting choice.
Inspire.
And
Weapon Master.
Yeah, but then he goes for the Assassin base emblem.
For a bit more penetration.
He wants,
He just wants to be a bit more active on the map. What's more interesting, actually,
But
is the
why
life drain.
Inspire?
cooldown.
More
5%.
cooldown, especially here, without any card control.
But that's for active skills, right?
right,
For
so
Feather Airstrike now.
Oh,
for
for the airstrike.
and for his first skill, right, the stun, he was one of the only stuns available for EVO's Legends, so having more stuns, in theory, is so important. Super Moreno, though, we saw earlier, he had that life drain emblem, man. We don't see that very often. Gives you, it recovers some of your HP and your mana when you clear minions.
It got buffed. That's why.
Very interesting pick. We haven't seen it too often, but on a vulnerable mage like the Novaria, it became quite a good pick. And looking at the stats, man, that's so completely one-sided.
That's zero. That's zero objective takes for Evos. No Lord, no Turtle, no turrets.
I think Super Ken even stole it at one of those times where Evos were letting go objectives on the top side, focusing on the neutral objective. Super Ken just went like, yoink.
La 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 la. I'll take that.
And the turrets were like, where are the enemies? The tier ones were like, where's EVOS, dude?
It was such a tough game for Evos Legends, and hopefully they can, come back to the drafts, really think about it. And it goes to show how big of an impact Fluffy has when he's given heroes like Terizla, who actually has that option
Absolutely.
to make plays on.
Banstrong as well, man. I don't think that he is quote-unquote suited to play in the Kadira because
Yeah.
how he's all the way at the beginning. Remember the first turtle fight, he was inside the turtle pit. Like, bro, everyone is looking at that exact point. You're in the spotlight and you can't do that as a Kadira, man. How are you gonna surprise your enemies?
And then Moreno's like on the Novaria. Well, that makes my job easier.
Hey, it's a free target. He's in the pit, he can't move around too much.
Exactly. It wasn't value the way that he was playing. But you know what it is, value?
Gold?
Yes, UBS Gold. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to invest in UBS Gold Axe MPL ID Season 12 with prices starting from 500,000 rupiah, and you guys can get a free MLBB skin with it. If you guys are interested, but you know what it is, value? UBSLifestyle.com, UBS Lifestyle
e-commerce
yes,
as well
UBS
as
Gold. So,
Blibli
ladies and
UBS
gentlemen, don't
Lifestyle.
forget to invest in UBS
Go back
Gold
to that,
Axe
no
MPL
value.
ID Season
No
12
value. I mean,
with
they have
prices
to get
starting
more
from
value picks.
500,000
We talked about
rupiah,
having,
and you guys can get
when
a
they're
free
in condition, they
MLBB
go for
skin
their
with
own
it.
signature
If you guys are
picks.
interested,
Go
but
for
you know
it.
what it
Check
is,
it out.
valuelifestyle.com,
Gain a
UBS
big
Lifestyle, yes,
definitely
UBS
as
Gold.
well.
So,
Yeah.
ladies and
Changed
gentlemen,
it
don't
much,
forget
and
to
as a
invest
result,
in
it just
UBS
didn't
Gold
work
Axe
out. It didn't synergize well either.
Yeah.
So back to game one, man. Even though it looks like it's countered, even though it's a joy against a Franco, go with what works for you.
So, Evos, look at your keys to victory, stick with it, because we'll see what you're able to pull out in game number 3 after this short break. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
side. Will EVOS Legends copy that similar style here with Kadita showing up? Already Joy secured. Will Brands go for the 1-1?
I wonder if he's picked it up this season.
I don't think this season.
Exactly, because according to my book, he
Okay.
hasn't, but I might be wrong,
Your
right?
Bible.
Human error. My Bible, my MLBB Bible. But so, no, he doesn't go for that same route. He answers that with a Claude. And finally, that secure pick for Fluffy on the Terizla. That is such a huge game changer for Evos.
This also means that they're going to go all in into that team fight composition, though. Against a Kadita, against a Paquito. So much mobility. You start to wonder, can Fluffy maintain the same kind of pressure that Sorizo can on this pick if he's going to try and roam around? And on the Claude, can you outrun Sorizo with the usual setup, the sprint and the quantum charge? We've seen that Claudes, despite all the movement speed you can try and get, you still cannot outrun a hero like a Paquito.
Especially going up against a Kadita, which somehow forces his Claude on towards a Purify. But there you go. Another hero that can overwhelm that Purify. A very good pick, right? Franco, Suppressed, which somehow also neutralizes, in a sense, that Joy pick.
Exactly. There's a certain layer of respect from Coach Aldo in comparison to Coach Age. With Joy being picked up, there was no solution towards it. But here, Aldo drafts a solution, and Bigatron, they're going to start to take away that playmaking tool that Evos are usually accustomed to, which is what we saw from game number 1. Edith gets banned out.
I was about to say that they are definitely going to ban the Edith, because previously, good frontline, good DPS. Edith brings both those things into the composition, and not a lot of heroes can really fill in those shoes. Now, without an extra frontline and damage dealer at the same time for Evos, they don't have nearly the same kind of late-game teamfight presence. Without the Edith as well, it's going to limit the hero pool for Van. They will ban away the 1-1, but at this point, there's still so many more options available in the current meta.
So what do Bigatron want to... What do they want to limit now? With the Edith being taken out, do they perhaps want to go for a Leslie? No, they want to take a Leslie, so they go for the Atlas. Again, another playmaker taken away from Evos Legends. They know how much Evos Legends find success when there's a lot of tools available for them to utilize.
Oh, it's going to be nasty AoE setup as well if Atlas was available, right? You got the penalty zone, Atlas Fatalings, and that blazing the way. A lot of AoEs, a lot of team fight heavy composition that potentially EVOS Legends could bring. So a good spot to ban it out. But it seems like EVOS Legends, they will commit to another marksman ban. With this Leslie though, it's straightforward. You pick up a Claude, you ban the counter.
Now you can pick up the Clint.
Ooh.
What do you think about that?
You can pick up the Clint, you can pick up the Brody. Options are available, but for Bigatron, it's very straightforward. We want to go aggressive, we want to get damage. Before, with the Franco, there wasn't a lot of follow-up, a lot of burst damage. With the Paquito and Kadira, a good mix of both. I think it's good if they get some more and try and take away more engages. The less that Evos can engage on Bigatron, the more Bigatron can play that macro-heavy game and take advantage of the lack of a map for Evos Legends.
But I mean, technically, Evos can still utilize something like the Franco.
Oh, what?
No, not the Franco. Kufra, I mean. Right? Does Van Strong play Kufra?
Yes.
It's possible, but this carry pick, this is dangerous, man. Against a full teamfight comp like this, against a Joy in particular, there's a lot of ways that this carry will be forced to just stay in the back and get completely zoned out of a fight. Mid lane still isn't the reveal for Evos. Long range maybe, but security is something they have to take into consideration with a Paquito and Franco and Kadira in the Land of Dawn.
Yeah. Back to the Kufra pick. I feel like this is the perfect time to draft Van Strong or Kufra. Why? It forces more Saken on towards a Purify, which makes him a juicier target for that Joy. So a very good, solid pick if they pick up the Kufra. And, they're going for another Garak, though. Yves, post-patch, is it still good, Arash?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It's definitely still effective, but it's no longer as oppressive. In a way, you still have the same kind of flexibility, defensive tools that allow you to be a bit more slippery, a bit more survivable, which is great against this composition from Bigatron Alpha. But you don't have the same kind of slows that can stop this Paquito and Kadira and carry technically from moving into your team. To make things worse, Bigatron, they have taken up that Baxia. There's not a lot of units available, not a lot of heroes that can counter how tanky this Baxia can get. This is a dangerous spot for Evos to be in.
And it's very fast-paced, right, for Bigatron. They're saying that they want to win and out those in rotations. They want to try and go for that early game oppression with the Kadita, with the Paquito, who gets that mid power spike as well to out-rotate, which is exactly what a Paquito can do, going 1v1 in lane against the Charizla.
It's a cheeky pick, right? They picked up the carry, the counter for Baksha as well. Well, there's already Claude, but a very good pick up here, Baksha. I want to see how he bowled in post-patch.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And the fact is, without Super Ken on those heroes that he can utilize to outplay, will it, be a good pick for him? Baxia.
Baxia, man. I think the speed is what he's going to rely on, but we're going to go straight into the Land of Dawn.
And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 3. Evos and Bigatron both standing at a 1-1. Who is going to be able to pick up the next points? Who's going to come out on top? And who is the better ISF team? We'll answer that shortly, as coming into the game, Super Vin already caught super low.
Super is the name of the game right here for Bigatron. They have all the movement speed, they have all the pressure tools to threaten the whole backline of Evos, but at the same time, Taz, I think the burden of the game is on his shoulders. If Bigatron Alpha can just move forward undeterred, I think Evos will have a very difficult time, because no one will be able to target Super Saiyan, and that is where Taz is the only member that can do so. Looking at the item, the emblems, I mean, a lot of vitalities, and I think the pull is up together in the hands of the Eve is just a big respect towards the pickup potential of Bigatron Alpha.
And it's cool, right? Because we see a change happen in the choice of emblem. Coming in for the Claude, no longer Brave Smite. He goes in for Quantum Charge instead, understanding that in the lane matchup, Claude versus Super Saiyan on the carry, I think Claude has a little bit more of an advantage in that laning phase.
In the laning phase, definitely. Claude is just a lot more flexible, a lot more survivable. In an all-in, maybe the carry can get an advantage. But until then, until he can force that, we'll have to see. Fluffy, though, gets ganked out.
Oh, luckily the shield unity wasn't connected, but Taz might commit to this? No, he wasn't sure as the turtle will spawn. So now the fight will be more focused on towards the turtle. Almost stolen there. Rounds though chunked. So it's a 1v1, typical 1v1 now. Let's focus on the turtle. Super Ken already in the vicinity, as well as Taz. So Rizzo looking for another angle. See, Vin isn't level 4 though, so there's no hunt. Super Ken focuses down on turtle. Penalty zone to cancel it out. Super Ken still finds the retry. The backside, correct! Was caught by Sarizo and Moreno. Good knockup as Fluffy will be the next casualty. Evos Legends, they lose out on the fight and the objective.
Absolutely nothing taken by the White Tigers here, ladies and gentlemen, around that first. Bronze gets taken down as well in the bottom lane. It does get traded back though. A small win for Evos, but still, Bigatron Alpha winning it out all around, even in talent prediction, as it's a 4 versus 2.
Oh man, almost a 2,000 gold lead. Rashi 3 minutes in.
I mean, Bigatron Alpha, this is what we expected. Big early game plays, and the backline from Evos Legends, they're just way too vulnerable. There are no cover tools at all this time. Maybe a DPZ, right? A defensive penalty zone could be used, but look at the hunt.
Oh, good night, Taz! Bloody Hunt will lock him down. Now Van Strong and Quite rotating towards the mid, trying to provide cover for Brands potentially. As of course, the supers will rotate towards that gold lane, but no commitments for the engage just yet.
It's so unfortunate for Evos Legends having a Claude in the same lane as a carry, and yet your Claude is the one that falls behind with so much impact coming in from all the other players from Bigatron Alpha, rotating towards that bottom line and aiding a Super Saiyan. Evos Legends, that one winning lane that they had, they don't have it anymore.
Take a look at the burst there from Sorizo. My goodness. Now it's a 2v1. Fluffy will soak the damage. Penalty zone forced to somehow survive. He still is okay. But man, that was another good set up by the Red Robots.
Signature play from Bigatron, making plays in both lanes, both sides of the map at the same time. Pressuring the EXP lane, but still making sure that Super Saiyan has all the space in the world to get dominant in that gold lane. With the turret going down, with the turtle spawning, Super Sorizo once again just takes so much attention away. He might fall though.
A charge onto it, Sorizo. Sorizo gets taken out. That's a good trade for EVOS Legends, punishing a mistake by the EXP laner.
It's one kill for a turtle though. For Bigatron Alpha, it's definitely worth it, and that is the impact we were talking about when Super Sorizo is given heroes he can use to roam around, to be a constant pressure on the opposing team. You can see the lane swap already coming in for Bigatron Alpha, and looking at the items, still leg states for Supervin, but look at that, Vanstrong zoned away, only with a mix of items, not enough gold income to do anything. Level 5.
Not just yet, exactly. They're all falling quite far behind. There's a significance in goal difference as well as Fluffy though.
Flicker penalty zone, good hunt. Socket will be taken out still by Taz. Stunned by Superkin on towards a member. But it seems like no engages more from the Red Robots. It's a 1-for-0.
Yeah, it looked like Bigatron Alpha, they utilized that bloody hunt to utilize it onto Fluffy instead of Taz. So Super Saiyan, he was very vulnerable in the backline to the damage from the Joy.
I think like earlier, like Super Vin used the Bloody Hunt to try and peel, right? Save Saken from the situation, but it didn't land on the right person. Look at Super Moreno though.
Good slow. Super Moreno will be taken down by Fluffy. Super Saiyan joining the fray for B2 now. If they really want to commit, the time is now. But it seems like they do not have enough resources. Vanstrong going in. For Saiyan showing. Is this a mistake? Oh, the re-engage. Concealed play from the backside. Vanstrong soaking damage. Fluffy now caught. No penalty zone popped just yet. Good wall charge to the front side. Dealing damage on towards Sorizo, but in the backside, Super Vin survives. Fluffy though will be the only casualty for now. Super Ken soaking damage. Good engage by Taz as he was able to take Saiyan down.
This is the danger for Bigatron Alpha. You win in the pickoffs, you win in the mobility, but in a big team fight with a Grok, with a Yin, with a Joy, and a Quad, they have to find ways constantly to try and save Super Saiyan in the late game. Because even if they trade 1 or 2 members, as long as Brand stays alive, I think Super Saiyan, he just needs to stay alive as long as possible in those big fights. But look at the damage though.
Whoa.
That's a lot of damage. Doesn't... Oh, wait a minute. Super Vin already being very, very annoying towards Taz's rotations and giving pressure on towards his buff. He might have to actually let that go for now. The Lord hasn't yet to spawn. You can see Evils putting some pressure here in the top lane. They want to go for it.
Yeah, it seems like they know that Sorizo is isolated. They will take him down. No compensations for side of Bigatron Alpha, though the bot side is quite exposed, so they might find compensation with that.
It's pushing. But Bronzier looking for the same idea in the top lane with all the amount of people from the side of Evils being poised and postured in the top side. It looks like they're looking for the next
with
turret
that
as well. It's pushing.
Ooh, Hans almost shunked. Super Ken, luckily, he is very low on mana. Now let's see here. They are trying to cut the rotation of Franco and Carry, it seems like the Joy. Very, very good. A good wall charge, and there you go. The collapse. Vin gets taken down instantly. Bigatron Alpha, they need to be careful if they really want to go with this momentum.
They have to watch how they are moving around in formation, because if Super Vin is the one getting jumped on, he can't really provide any kind of help, any kind of security. EVOS Legends, even though they lose in the mobility, they win out in the trap game. You know, just waiting in ambush for Bigatron Alpha. And back to the point earlier, if they keep doing stuff like this, Super Saiyan is going to have a very difficult time, and in the late game, as annoying and as unfortunate as it sounds, the gold lane becomes one of the most important roles, and as long as the gold lane stays alive, the longer the fight goes, the more you win. So I think Bigatron Alpha, they're working a bit against the clock here.
And with that being said, it's kind of deja vu to game number 1. The fact that Bigatron Alpha don't really have a lot of tools to work with. They're banking on their pickoff, and in comparison to EVOS Legends, who went fully onto AoE team fight composition, and we saw that EVOS Legends were able to win it out in game number 1. So Bigatron Alpha, another challenge.
Oh, Super Saiyan preheating though. The backside, Superman will be taken out though. But it seems like there is no clear win for Bigatron from that trade. Bigatron Alpha slowly, the lead slowly diminishes as the Lord, though, will be hovered around. Super Sorizo now caught in a 3v1. Still able to somehow escape. But it seems like it's, again, all calm before the storm now.
Ooh, he got the positioning coming from Super Moreno. He's looking for a chance. He might find it. Super Sorizo, though, unable to have the same kind of impact, the same kind of split push. Super Moreno makes the play happen, but not enough. And now the ultimates are available once again for Evos. Super Saken. Oh!
Good targeting, good stun as well. Now, with the rhythm of beats, Sorizo will try to cut him out. All the damage is there, but it's not enough. Bigatron Alpha now playing it slow. Super Sorizo somehow targeted by Bronze is able to escape for now. But it's a very, very patient game now from both teams.
Truly is, but Taz is really low and he's 2 levels below of Super Ken. Is this something that Evil's Legends truly want to go for a contest on? Looks difficult. Super Sorizo already doing really well with the waves. Bigatron Alpha, Super Ken, none of them. They're all not going in for the commitment onto the Lord.
Now Super Sorizo is showing on the top side, though. Evo's Legends have a bit of an urgency if they want to try and get some more value. They will be able to get the mid tower, it seems, by pushing that wave just a bit. So good management, good maneuvers, but they might lose this top turret unless Brands moves to clear it. This could be the green light for Bigatron Alpha to make a full commitment towards this turtle, this Lord.
That's a conceal, that's a green light. Let's see, Fluffy now. The hunt is still not pop touches. There you go. Just to cover, he gets taken down. But take a look at Taz, looking for an angle. Super Ken will find the retry as well, though Super Vin will be taken down. Taz finds a double. It's a Lord for 2 members. Bigatron Alpha, they flee from the fight.
Losing 2 for the Lord is still value, but it was a bit of miscoordination, man. Super Vin was able to suppress Taz, but the follow-up just wasn't there. Bigatron Alpha, they just have to be a bit more coordinated, but with this Lord, they have the chance now to elevate that split push strategy even more. Looking at a bit of the items, Bloodlust X for Super Sorizo is allowing him to be this impudent, but he might get punished now.
Okay, let's see. Super Ken just trying his own advance strong, trying to slow him down as Blob Charge was forced. But it seems like now with Super Vin joining, no, they have not yet to find a connection. Lord, bot side is already charging, is already marching. Bigatron taking it slow. Their prio is that tier 1 and 2 in the mid lane.
They're going to be able to get the middle lane one, but more so that top lane too. I think Bigatron Alpha will still be unable to get those inhibitor turrets, and time after time in these team fights, I see that Evo's Legends, they're capitalizing on the lack of range coming in from Super Saken, right? Super Saken, let's say Bigatron Alpha looks for a good hook. And then you can see that counter engage coming in from Fluffy and eventually Van Strong with the wild charge. And then the real world manipulation just gets popped in that makes Super Saken a little nervous. Do I go in? Do I commit onto this? Do I wait out the real world manipulation? What do I do? Because if he does commit, there are a lot of moments when he gets taken low, and that is where Taz finds that loophole to take him down, which makes sense. Why his KDA is the way that it is, 1-2-2. Just very little impact in these team fights.
I feel like how defensively he's forced to actually position. He might as well go for something like a sprint, man. Because against the Joy, the Purify won't save you, the Flicker technically won't save you either, but the sprint technically will. It will allow you to run away from Taz long enough for you to survive from his initial electrifying beats. It's a weird, choice. It's a weird option if they want to explore it, but I think it has a bit of value here. But whoa, look at that hook though.
Oh, hook and hunt finds Van Strong. Fluffy though, the backside will not be able to find anything. Oh, the knockup was huge as Bronze was caught in the middle of everything. Sorizo now hunting, runs down as Bronze wasn't able to soak in the damage right now. The next viable target. Sorizo though, wow! That's a double for Taz at the backside. What the heck? He gets stunned. Moreno is there. Taz will be the next in the topping block. 4 members taken out.
For 2 only. Evo's Legends losing every single member except from Krite, who is forced to recall because of how low he is. And Bigatron Alpha, they win it on all accords. They're going to be able to blitz this next Lord for themselves for free without any contest. Seeing as Taz, it's going to take him 50 seconds to come back in.
EVO's Legends, they had a man down, picked off, and they still went for the fight. Even Brands goes in to try and make a play, salvage the losing team fight with the Blazing Duet. But as a result, he gets bursted down by Super Moreno in that fight. That was very unfortunate. And losing the Lord as well. Bigatron Alpha, they're going to try and make full use of this. But it's just a bit of a deja vu situation. EVO's Legends still have a very solid wave clear. It's all on Bigatron Alpha to make a crazy play that EVO's Legends won't be able to see coming.
And they need to give space for Super Saken. Look how rich he is. He's #1 on the most player gold at the moment. And the reason why we haven't felt his impact is because most of the members, most of the time, Super Saken gets zoned out of the team fight or gets taken out just in general, as a whole. But Taz, he wasn't able to focus on Super Saken. Super Saken was able to deal out that damage with the gold and the items that he's already been able to farm. And now, it's a big question for EVOs. How are they going to tackle this?
Lord munches the top base turret.
Taz, solo kill?
Oh, almost, you're right. Sorizo barely survives there in the jungles of EVO's Legends. But only one base turret here, it seems like, will be the casualty. Bigatron hovering around the mid. Will they be able to succeed though? Super Reno looking for an opening as well, but it seems like EVO's Legends, they're too quick with it. The bot tier, though, will be taken out.
Ooh, you can see that EVOs, they're desperate to try and find something in retaliation. Losing the two side base turrets, that's actually more damaging than you think. The middle one is the dangerous one because you can just push all the way down if you just get wiped out. But the side lanes, this is what allows that macro gameplay to come in handy. And with the control now, you can see Bigatron, they're a lot more dominant in the positioning, but with the Iron Hook being used, these are the windows that EVO's Legends can use to try and go for an aggressive fight.
I agree. And Siege for Bigatron Alpha is not going to be as easy as well. They don't necessarily have the high ground or the range, but Super Saken.
Oh, Super Ken isolated, loses Immortal. Moreno finds Taz in the backside. He will be stunned though. Will be taken out as well. Blazing Duet will not be able to find anyone just yet. Fluffy, next casualty. Super Sorizo opening the fight. Hunting Brands down as it is going to be a 2-for-1. Oh, the minions is enough. Let's see. Bigatron, they can end. 3 members just defending Super Saken and Super Ken. It's reading in the backside. Ben loses Immortal, but it seems like Brands and friends will be able to clear this one out for now.
Oh, that was so close! The fact that Brands was able to survive all throughout that, with the fact that that beautiful wall was placed before they went into the base to prevent the other members from Bigatron Alpha to enter. All these things, all these small decisions that EVO's Legends made allows them to still stay relevant in this game and even gain earlier control onto the Lord compared to Bigatron Alpha.
EVOs, they are desperate for this. They're trying to burst it down, but there's not enough damage. Bigatron has arrived.
Let's see. Oh, Van Strong gets taken out instantly. Cry to the backside. Oh, good play by Sarita. Taz, though, will find the retribution. But what is it for as 3 members will be taken out? Sorizo finds the double.
What in the world? Treading the needle so beautifully. Taz still able to get that retribution. However, Kreitz, Bronze, the cores are gone for EVO's Legends. Can they defend? Can Fluffy and Taz defend?
Let's see. 1810 will be the spawn for the Lord. Oh, there's no enough time. Bigatron Alpha will end at the base first. Bigatron Alpha finds a reverse. Sweet.
2-1. The red robots taking it against the white tigers. And here they are, the new blood, the new gen, the new representatives for ISF Indonesia, telling EVO's Legends, you know, it's our time now. Thank you for last year, but we got it from here.
The robots, man, making a statement, telling the Tigers, we are not below you in the food chain. Not today. Reversing it, forcing EVOs to admit that they are today the ones who have to admit defeat against the robots. What a performance, man. And what an exciting game with the back and forth from both teams.
Wow is a word indeed, and EVOS Legends, unfortunately, they will suffer another loss after putting Dreams and Hijume down to the MDO.
I mean, there were a lot of speculations as to Taz stepping in, replacing Sutsujin in a trio mid that has been a trio for quite some time. There's certainly going to be moments and needs for time to adjust, and I don't blame them. They're on the way, and it makes sense that maybe for now, it's not necessarily the best of performances from EVOS Legends, but it could work in the future.
I mean, you can't say it was a stomp. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
EVOS made it quite competitive.
Yep.
And if you wanna try and, some people are saying, oh, it's because Taz is in. Well, Taz was doing a great job in that game. He was able to steal lords, deal damage in the back line despite all the card controls. I think we have to hear from the victors though, what do they feel about that game?
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's take to Monica as she is in an interview with Bigatron Alpha. Take it away.
Biget Troopers, mana suaranya untuk Bigetron Alpha? Wow, 2-1 match yang begitu menegangkan. Kalah di game yang pertama, tapi berhasil membalikan arah, akhirnya menang. Ini seperti apa Super Fin? Kenapa tadi di game yang pertama sepertinya sulit sampai 20 menitan?
Ya kenapa game 1 sulit ya karena emang EVOS tim yang kuat juga lah. Jadi ya emang hari ini seru lah.
Seru sekali, apalagi ini kalian adalah wakil Indonesia di ISF World Championship 2023 dan ketemu dengan EVOS Legend yang adalah juga ISF Champion ISF 2022. Gimana Moreno ketemu Champion ISF 2022?
Kenapa?
Gimana rasanya ketemu EVOS Legend yang jadi champion, yang sekarang juga champion ISF 2022?
Apa rasanya?
Iya, ngalahin lagi ya?
Ya biasa aja, maksudnya ya semangat aja. Maksudnya nggak kepikiran kayak pengen ngalahin juara bertahan ISF gitu-gitu, nggak. Cuma kayak fokus pengen menang aja.
Fokus pengen menang aja dan menang ya?
Ya,
Tapi
gitu.
sulit nggak sih? Ada pelajaran-pelajaran yang diambilkah di Land of Dawn ini setelah ketemu champion ISF 2022?
Berisik banget.
Itu lagi ngedukung kamu.
Apa tadi pertanyaannya?
Ada pelajaran-pelajaran yang didapetin di Land of Dawn gak sih? Dari champion ISF EVOS?
Ya pasti banyak lah pelajaran. Soalnya kan mereka juara ISF, terus rosternya juga juara WCG gitu kan. Kayak mereka kan juara semua. Jadi kita mungkin banyak pelajaran yang bisa kita ambil dari mereka.
Bangga dong ngalahin World Champion.
Ya lumayan, ya bangga lah, bangga.
Bangga. Dan ada juga yang tadi katanya sebelum match takut mau ketemu EVOS Legend. Gimana Super Ken? Udah ketemu dan ternyata menang? Masih takut?
Masih sih.
Kok masih takut? Kenapa menang?
Kembali lagi dia udah juara kan, juara dunia lagi, jadi agak-agak takut.
Agak-agak takut, apalagi juara dunia. Tapi tadi Super Ken membuktikan selalu menang retri nih. Gimana?
Mungkin hoki kali ya.
Hoki, beneran hoki.
Kayaknya sih hoki.
Tapi masih ada takut sedikit. Nantinya kedepannya bakalan gimana dong biar mentalnya kuat nih?
Kenapa?
Kedepannya gimana dong biar nggak takut lagi?
Mungkin mainnya lebih enjoy aja kali ya biar gak takut lawan dia kan.
Oke, kita lihat nanti ya. Tapi Super Saken, kamu gimana head to headnya dengan Brans? Apalagi Brans ini juga sama-sama adalah gold laner di ISF.
Seru sih,
Seru aja.
seru.
Terus apa lagi selain seru?
Gak tahu, seru laning sama dia.
Seru ya. Ada yang dipelajarin gak biar nanti menjadi bekal untuk ISF 2023?
Mungkin dari game 1 yang aku lihat mungkin dari cara farming dia kali ya, so positioning dia main clean. Ya mungkin itu kali.
Oke, jadi banyak yang diambil ya pelajaran-pelajaran dari EVOS Legend hari ini menjadi bekal untuk ISF 2023 ya.
Ya.
Tapi kan kalian ini, Bigetron Alpha, ini kita udah di half season dan kalian udah ketemu dengan semua tim. Nah, ada tim yang menurut kalian paling menantang selama half season ini? Sorry Zo?
Semuanya menantang ya?
Semuanya menantang, tapi kalau pilih satu? Oh, Moreno mau jawab katanya.
King Onyx.
King Onyx, setuju nggak? Sorry Zo.
Ya, semuanya.
Semuanya, tetap semuanya. Tapi kalau kata Moreno, King Onyx. Jadi nungguin ya buat ketemu lagi di setelah half season ini ya.
Ya kalau nggak bisa, kalau bisa nggak ketemu nggak usah ketemu dia.
Bakalan ketemu tetap ya harusnya deh.
Iya.
Bercanda. Tapi selanjutnya tentunya kita ada player of the match kali ini. Kira-kira siapa ya player of the match kali ini? Kira-kira siapa player of the match? Kita lihat aja langsung di layar. Player of the match-nya adalah Super Ken takut aja jadi player of the match. Gimana kalau nggak takut?
Kenapa?
Takut aja kamu jadi player of the match. Gimana kalau nggak takut?
Nggak tahu sih.
Wah, kok nggak tahu lagi sih?
Apa?
Kok nggak tahu?
Soalnya aku takut.
Soalnya takut. Jadi masih takut dong? Katanya
Masih.
tadi lagi berusaha supaya nggak takut. Katanya tadi berusaha supaya nggak takut. Tapi biar nggak takut, Biget Troopers, biar kita kasih semangat. Mana tepuk tangannya untuk Bigetron Alpha dong, sekali lagi. Dan yang terakhir, Super Vin, bisa ada pesan-pesan untuk Biget Troopers yang selama half season ini udah setia dong. Tentunya ngedukung kalian semua.
Makasih buat Biget Troopers yang udah dukung. Ya ini baru half season, semoga kedepannya kita bisa meraih kemenangan lagi.
Sekali lagi kita berikan tepuk tangan untuk super kita Bigetron Alpha. Dan langsung aja untuk kita mengulas lebih lanjut bagaimana kemenangan dari Bigetron Alpha ini super tim kita. Langsung aja kita tanyakan kepada para caster di sana. Back to you casters.
And there you go. Congratulations once again to the Red Robots, Bigetron Alpha. Hopefully after the loss that they had to suffer yesterday, this win will, give them new confidence to step up and brighten up their day before they represent us at ISF.
Ooh. It's going to be very, very intriguing.
Okay, I thought you were going to say interesting.
And also with that win, hopefully it makes Bigetron, to get back in form because they were a little bit shaky, especially entering towards the end of week 3 and entering week 4.
Yeah, and especially for him, right? Super Ken, the player of the match here with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, Z Flip 5. Hopefully his presence is always consistent.
I think when Super Ken is consistent, it's a bad day for anyone going up against Bigetron, man. When this guy is on fire, the mechanics are on point, the rotations, they're slick. And I think in this game, this match, he's shown that, okay, depending on the situation, he can adapt as well. Assassins, tanks, different rotations, invades.
Whoa.
He's trying to show that he can do it all. He's trying to be the best all-round jungler. People were saying he might match up to Kyrie. We'll have to see though. So far, not just yet.
I think he's on the way. He's really young,
He's
right?
making progress, for sure.
Exactly. I think a lot of people have said that there are new junglers at MPL ID who are on the way to that point, right? We have Van from Aura Fire.
Oh, yeah.
We have Super Ken from Bigetron Alpha.
Don't forget Niall.
Or Vincent.
Anyway, if we take a look at this game here, it was significantly different, and I feel like that's what makes Bigetron Alpha so scary, because in terms of composition, it felt a little bit similar to game number 1, but Bigetron Alpha, they were able to adapt so well, and finally, at the end of it all, figure it out and win it.
I think it all depends on how the execution goes as well. Of course, big moment pickoffs like this are always game-changing in the current meta. And so the team that can find more tools is great, but look at Grants here. Taking a chunk of damage by jumping into the rough waves. Wasn't intentional, but as a result, he gets taken out. The longer the fight goes, the more those gold laners become important. But look at Taz. This Joy is just so devastating. It's burst, but it's also kind of DPS. But against Abaxia, no chance, man. But afterwards, Supercan gets caught out, so you can still see plays being made by Evos. It's just that Bigatron right now, due to the composition, have a bit more chances of making the plays happen.
You know what? After seeing Game 3, it's, Taz on that Joy wasn't able to keep the 100% Joy win rate in the series. And there you go. Bigatron, they found their solution here also in the fight, right? Very scattered, very messy, very not coordinated by the White Tigers. And this was the final push. The Lord just spawned, but there was enough minions for Bigatron to chunk and wipe out the base.
It feels like Bigatron Alpha kind of forced it to happen, right? They forced the scatter. It was so different because in game number 1, they were looking for pickoff, but the composition I felt wasn't really right. They had Valentina for Moreno in comparison to game number 3 with Moreno on the Kadita, so there's more burst to follow up on that initial pick coming in from that Franco, but this is the key to success for Bigatron Alpha throughout that entirety.
Well, the man of the match is Super Ken, but Supervin getting suppression heroes is always a good thing for Bigatron. Augments their pickoff even more. Afterwards, Super Saken in that last game was able to just keep farming, be relatively untouched, and even the dive, right? The penalty zones, a lot of them weren't really reaching Saken, and even if they did, the follow-up just was taking so long to come because of the Paquito, because of the Kadita pressure, which is very different from what we were seeing from the side of Evos earlier. And of course, that Lord play, how they're a bit more decisive, how they're able to just plan out how the fight is going to go, right? Just put on whoever's going to try and save Saken, who's going to try and zone Brands and Pride away. I think that's just great planning and great execution from Bigatron. And if they keep doing this, they're definitely a team to be wary of in MPL ID.
Good decision making. And that's an improvement that I see from Bigatron Alpha finally, right? That decision making in that later stage of the game. Because usually Bigatron Alpha, early game, they are so good at the decision making. And I can't make a decision about what shampoo to use.
What? It's so simple.
Is it?
You use Head and Shoulders.
Do you have an example? Because I don't know what it smells like. I don't know what it feels like.
You got the Eudora, Thai Grill, or Gatot Kacha,
Okay.
but this is Arashi's version.
Oh.
There you go.
Which
With
one
the
are you?
Cool menthol.
Oh.
Thai
You gotta
Grill.
keep your head cool, keep it in the game, man.
Exactly.
You cannot win games, especially the late game, with a hot head. That's just not the way to go.
All right. So with that, if you guys want to play your ranked games with a level head, with a cold head, with 100% confidence, go ahead and check out Head and Shoulders because it is the shampoo for you, MLBB lovers all around the world.
Exactly. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. It just wipes out your dandruff. So, why not? Why not?
So you get 100% confident, man. Dandruff is awful.
Dandruff is awful.
Yeah,
Why?
I used to have dandruff, and it's just a huge self-esteem problem, man. But
Where do you
thanks
buy
to
it?
Head and Shoulders, honestly, you can use Blee Blee, man. If you use Blee Blee, you can probably get up to 10% cashback if you get skins, man.
Oh, okay. So if I want to buy that new Kadita skin that I saw earlier on that Moreno used and I was really jealous of the entire match,
Exactly.
I just top up on Blee Blee and I get a 10% cashback. And you guys can use that as well. I want that new Kadita skin. It looks so pretty. It reminds me of Novaria.
Oh.
That's why when she died, I was like, did Novaria die? No, that's Kadita. Wow. The skin looks so similar.
Oh, I don't
Is
see
it
the
not?
resemblance. I don't
It
see
feels
the
like, it's like
resemblance.
silvery and stuff.
It's like a skin diff, so,
You know-
skins can get wins, you're saying, Eterna.
Yes.
Skins,
Or
skins.
don't miss
Skins
out.
can get wins.
Buy skins, buy vouchers, and buy other products as well on Blee Blee, man. They have
Check it out.
everything out there.
Check it out again. You can get a 10% cashback with Blee Blee. Use Head and Shoulders. That was match one.
Use UBS Gold to invest. Use the Samsung phone. Buy food with Grab. go to the venue with Grab because we are going on a short break, ladies and gentlemen. So you do still have time to come here with Grab. And with that, me, Eterna, Gandhi, as well as Arashi, we'll see you in 5. Bye-bye.
Don't you wish your phone was fun like this?